We might as well get things started. I'd like to call a meeting order. It's 7:32 p.m. First item on the agenda this evening is 28 Crestview Drive, application for construction of a 30 by 40 foot detached garage. Are you here for that, or?
Yes, sir.
If you want to come on up and just sign in, and then.
You can't sign in because I didn't.
Oh, there's no pay. Oh, that, yeah. Just come on up then and sit in the chair there, and you could.
I know
sorry,
who you are.
Okay.
sorry, just tell us what you're looking to do here. We have the application.
Just looking to build a 30 by 40 garage just for extra space, car parking, and maybe a little bit of storage space on top.
Mm-hmm.
And it's already on existing driveway and lawn, you can see in the
Yeah, I saw that,
picture.
yeah. Chris, are you familiar with the site out there?
I'm not, but you know, I've looked at the pictures and whatnot. So if you're comfortable deferring to me,
How close? It was a little hard to tell from the sketch. How close is the garage to the proposed garage to the wetlands? Would you say?
On there should be little dash marks, and each dash is 5 feet, I believe.
Okay.
So like 25 feet, looks like.
10,
Yeah, 25 feet
20,
in one area here.
25.
Okay. And
This is the edge of the wetlands, I assume, right?
the what exactly is the character of the wetlands? Is there water back there? Is it ponding?
On that spot, no. The water would be way further back. If you follow that all the way to the curve, right to the lake, there is a tiny bit of water there where I think there was a stream maybe at one point, but there's nothing there. Maybe a little bit damp, and then across that, there's another patch of land, then the lake.
Yeah. Does it flood or?
No, never.
Yeah. No.
Actually, the pond actually seems lower than ever. I know there's a couple, I don't know what you call them, like tunnels that let water in and out. I don't know who controls that or what, but. And I heard her saying something about being dredged. I'm not sure the last time that got done either, but never any flooding.
I thought it was after the flood from up above. No?
I never noticed any flooding or heard anybody, but I know one of the little canals, I think they did. I remember a couple of years ago they had a
Yeah, I think
excavator there doing some work. I don't know exactly.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what they were doing, but yeah, no issues with flooding ever.
No, when the dam gave way at the Elderslie Basin, what the sediment from the detention basin dam never reached down that far. And at that time, part of the reclamation was to actually have people go in on foot with 5-gallon pails and remove the sediment that was down there. So we knew how far it had gone, and it never got down to there. What the town did dredge the channel that goes in from Crestview into the pond,
Yeah.
but that was just natural sediment that, the natural occurrence of sediment that happens.
Sure, okay.
What's with the setback line in the building beyond it? Is that an official setback, or is that?
Yeah, well, that's a zoning setback, I assume. Yeah.
Setback for houses are 25 feet.
Yeah. For garages like this, it's 15 feet off the
Right.
side yard. So.
Correct.
That's okay. On the picture, this area is, what's what are the dots on the pink area?
Can you show me?
One
Oh,
here.
those are just plants. That's existing lawn and mulch or whatever. That's the wetlands is like beyond that if you sort of look at the curb. Not onto the right, but towards the back lot. And like I said, they're not really wet, but
Any comments, questions? We delegate this to Chris so she can take a look at it. Stephen?
Yeah, thank you, Bob. Couple of questions. So on the picture,
yep.
the tan colored areas look like they were disturbed. What's happening there?
As far as I know, those are woods, so nothing can really happen.
Did you clear this?
That's
area?
part of our lawn. That's mulch and plants.
And how long? So when was this activity?
Maybe when we bought the house.
How long ago was that?
2000. Oh man, trying to think.
Approximately.
Actually, it might have been 97, I'm sorry, 97, 98?
1997, 98?
Yes.
And this area, this soil, what appears to be soil has not revegetated itself in all that time?
Well, it's mulch.
Okay.
You know, every year you put new mulch down, but that's what it is. Nothing's been changed, you know, after that.
Okay.
The garage will sit on part of that.
No, the garage won't sit on that. The garage would sit maybe a few feet from the edge of that on the existing lawn.
Yeah.
So it would cover the existing driveway and the lawn. It wouldn't go beyond that mulched part.
Have you left enough room so you can get machinery into the backyard if you need?
Yes, sir.
Good.
In between, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
But in between the
It's something you
house,
wanna worry about
yeah,
now.
there'd be plenty of room.
So that was my first question, is I see what appears to be the disturbed area. And so you've explained that, so you mulch that area in. So
Well, yeah, back when the house was built. Yeah, I'm sure the builder did it. I don't know, the landscaper.
do you ever enlarge that area any?
No.
Okay, so you maintain the same footprint,
Yeah,
let's
pretty
say?
much.
All right, so that's my first concern. My second concern is, you know, as a commission, we have a responsibility to enforce setbacks from the regulated areas, so the wetlands. So our charge is to scrutinize activities within 100 feet of the wetlands. And, you know, I see what you're trying to accomplish. Seems harmless enough, but it occurs to me that you are within 25, 30 feet, if we could take your representation as being accurate, of the wetland area, if I'm interpreting these drawings correctly. And, you know, I say to myself, you know, are we too close? Is this structure need to be this large? Could this structure be attached to the house so that we could pull it away from the wetland area? So what do you say to that?
I say
Hang on a
it's
second, so let me just crystallize so you know. So number one, why does the structure need to be that size? And number two, as an alternative, well, why wouldn't that be attached to the house?
being attached to the house creates a bunch of building issues that makes it much more difficult to build. Also, the size, and that's just the size I wanted. I mean, I may be able to make it a little bit smaller, but I don't see why I would need to. That matches, you know, right to the driveway, and it would already be on existing lawn and driveway. We're not going to disturb anything beyond that. So whatever there is already there, you know. We're not going to go into the wetlands or beyond what's already our lawn and the driveway.
Yes, just as a tiny educational point, so whatever activities are taking place within 100 feet of the wetlands are presumed to impact the wetlands. So you'd be constructing a structure, and then you're going to be permanently altering that space by having a structure on the property that was otherwise open space or with pervious surface so that the water could recharge. So there's a few academic points to be made. So those are some of the questions that are circulating in my mind. Is there another way to do this to accomplish your objectives, but allow the commission an opportunity to accomplish its objectives by keeping activities and structures a proper distance from wetlands and watercourses?
I mean, to me, that seems the best way. And like I said, it's not going to be on the land that's, you know, beyond our lawn and driveway already. And I don't see it affecting the wetlands at all.
Well, you're going to have, let's say, so there's going to be car access to that garage, right?
Yeah, through the
So
front.
you're gonna have a driveway, you'll be
The
paving-
driveway is already there, sir.
Okay, so you're going to use the existing driveway? There
Correct.
won't be any alteration
Correct.
of that?
Yes. That's why I'm saying it's going to be on the existing driveway, so nothing is going to be built there.
So it looks, the diagram doesn't match up exactly with what you say, I guess, unless your driveway door is way to the far left of the front of the garage, if I'm interpreting the diagram correctly. So those are some issues that I had.
Okay.
Is this something we wish to delegate to Chris?
I feel comfortable with that.
A couple questions first.
Sure.
Is this, what's the drainage on this land existing? Does it drain to the wetlands or away from?
No, but there's no water, there's no drainage
flat?
issues at all. Yeah, it's flat.
So where are you gonna put the
Roof leaders?
the roof leaders?
Where will you direct the roof, stormwater?
From,
So the new
from
garage.
new construction,
Yeah,
it would probably go, right to, the edge of the lawn, that's it.
Are you gonna have gutters on the roof, or is it just gonna naturally flow off the roof?
I haven't decided on that yet. I mean, if it's an issue, we'll talk about
I
that.
think that's
Yeah.
part of the question.
I feel if we delegated, I'm not sure I can match up this map with this photograph. You say that it's all gonna be on the lawn,
Partially on the driveway and partially on the lawn.
but you have 5 little dots here to the wetlands.
The map was just an online visual, so you can get an idea. It's not, the picture is not the scale. The drawing is the scale.
Okay. It's just hard to picture where the garage will be here.
It would be on the existing lawn and part of the
Starting
driveway where the cars
Here.
are parked,
Will it
right where your
stop
finger
it
is.
Somewhere here? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay,
So it would be contained, it would be before that mulch. It would be in the lawn and on the
okay,
driveway.
Yeah, it's hard to tell the distance.
Yeah, I know. I brought that for a visual,
helpful,
but it's
yeah.
not to scale.
I wonder, Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
can I continue?
sure, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, is it possible to stake out the 4 corners of the proposed building and we could come and take a look at what's going on out there?
Yeah, I guess so. I think Chris mentioned at some point she would do that.
I'm suggesting something different.
Well, I mean, we can definitely keep
Yeah,
it.
only
on schedule.
because of the proximity to the wetlands. Were it something else where the wetlands weren't in such proximity to the construction activities, I might feel more comfortable delegating it, but I think this requires a little more wetland, commissioner scrutiny, I guess. Not that the project is not viewed favorably or so, but I would feel more comfortable if I saw physically what is being proposed out there.
I mean, it's drawn right there.
Thank you.
How about we do a site visit and you stake the 4 corners? Then we can see.
Yeah, it's
walk
possible. I
around.
mean, it's
There
it's drawn on a scale map. I
I
don't
know, but
We're
you're
past
looking
that.
at people who are not so technical. I'm sorry, it's true.
I know, but what exactly are you trying to see in
I'd
person?
like to understand where the water is gonna go, because it'll be slightly different than it is now when you build a building. And I don't suggest you shouldn't build a building, I just wanna understand
I mean, if you look at that.
where does the water go, where's the building?
If you look at that
sit?
picture, you'll see, I think it says like a stream or something like that. There used to be water flowing down that. Any rainwater would go into that and
Well,
probably,
then if I saw that, I would understand.
So
Right.
you have reference.
probably towards the lake.
That's
Well,
what
we
we're
can,
at.
we can schedule a site visit and.
Let's do that.
Bump that till next month, so.
If that's not a bad thing, I think it's a good idea.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, that's all we're looking for, so. All right, then, just, we can't, if we decide, as a commission, we can't decide tonight, because you can't decide the night we get the application, unless we delegate it to Chris, and, some folks want to see the property, so what we could do is set up a site visit for, I don't, whatever.
Any
people-
month that coincides with your schedule, your summer schedule, and the applicants.
Yeah, I mean, there's enough daylight where we could do it just before the meeting if you
Good
want
point.
to in July.
Good
I
point.
won't be here, but that's fine, but that way it saves people coming out
Yeah.
twice, so, what we'll do is the night of our July meeting, which is, let's see,
19th.
19th, 7 o'clock, or, it shouldn't take that long.
Probably 15 minutes at the property, 20
6:45,
minutes most, yeah.
7 o'clock, okay. At 7 o'clock on the 19th, members of the commission who are, wanting to come out and take a look, will come out and take a look, and then we'll have a meeting right after that here to dispose of the application, so, okay?
All right, how are we gonna plan this and when?
Well, what the request is if you could just stake the four corners
All
of the
right,
garage.
and then
You'll-
you guys will
I
just
mean,
come there at a certain time?
Yeah, at 7 o'clock, we'll, whoever wants to come will be there, and then we'll have the meeting afterwards here, once everybody leaves there.
Okay, and the next meeting is?
The 19th of
19th.
July.
July,
Okay,
yeah.
so I gotta wait till July.
And then it probably would be helpful for them if you can, between now and then, determine whether or not you wanna put roof gutters on this, or if you just want it to
Well, I wasn't sure if that's a
naturally
zoning.
sheet flow off, because part of the concern I think that they're raising is that if you put on gutters, where's it gonna discharge versus if it just falls off the
yeah.
roof onto some gravel
I mean,
that's
when the
underneath.
house was built, I would assume they would go to the same area the existing house goes to.
Well,
It's two different things. If it just sheet flows
Yeah.
off the garage, it's just hitting the ground and flowing,
Oh,
sheet
naturally.
flowing naturally. If it comes down into a gutter pipe, then
Mm-hmm.
it has to direct somewhere, and so does it just come down
Gotcha.
and exit right next to the building, and then you have something at the end, a little
Mm-hmm.
riprap spreader? It's just so that they have that part of the question
All right, well,
answered.
yeah, I wasn't sure if it was a zoning thing where you town may require gutters or not, so I wasn't sure at that point.
It's up to you.
Okay, perfect.
so basically, like I said, the application will be continued, we'll be out there on the 19th at 7 o'clock.
Yep.
I don't expect you to put a stake in your driveway, but if you
Yeah,
just
I'll put a
this-
marker or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, we did.
something
We had already had measured it out, but
Yeah,
I don't have them on there now. But obviously, it's going to be a
Shuffle
while. Yeah. Yeah. No, I did have it staked out too, but I can do it again for you guys so you can get an idea where it sits.
All right, and then we'll deal with the application later that evening.
All right.
Okay. All right,
That works for me.
okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Do you have a pen or so I can write down the dates?
I'll send it to you.
Oh,
Do I have your email?
Yeah.
By stone wall.
Sure. Yes, because I sent you some.
You're gonna come out and show?
No. Well, I could have proved it.
If you'd like.
Yeah, no, I'm here, so I may just come out anyway. So, yeah, I'll send you a copy of the site visit notice, okay?
All right, perfect, thank you.
Okay, thank you, have a good night.
Yep.
All right, moving right along, next item on the agenda, 1073 Racebrick Road, Alexiadis application on the collapsing pipe. I know we had to carry this till this meeting so we could deal with it. We didn't have Jim take a look at this, did we? No, okay. Yeah, I don't see any issue with them replacing a pipe that's broken, that's been there, unless other people have comments or concerns.
I just would like to note something.
Sure.
It's interesting. So at the last meeting, I recall myself saying I don't have any objection to the proposal, but if the applicant were here, I would tell her that I've seen this movie before in other settings, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And if she were here, I would ask her to consider alternatively just kind of letting it go to a meadow with some kind of a wild flower, and then maybe a bridge or so to make it aesthetically pleasing. If she really didn't need that rear property, that rear part of her lot, if she thought about it and said, we could do all of our playing, let's say, in the front area, maybe we don't need, so I would ask her to give that some thought if she thought the cost of this was too great, or it might not work, or maybe that's an interesting idea. So I would suggest that as an alternative to piping that water across the back of her property. But in the absence of that, I don't have any problem with this.
Okay. So do we have a motion to approve the application to replace the pipe in the backyard with the usual stipulations?
So moved.
Okay, a second?
I'll second.
Jack seconded. Oh, sorry, Josh. All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions? Okay, that resolves that. Enforcement officer report. Chris, what do we have going on? Anything?
Nothing here, no.
Good, good. Thank you. Site visits, we just scheduled that. Minutes of the meeting, March 8th, 2023. Gene, anything?
Well, oh yeah, but I left my copy at home, so,
I got one thing.
you got it right.
Whoa, what you got, Jack?
I tried, I have to find it. Oh, yeah. On the May 17th thing, the bottom bullet on the first page,
Oh, okay. Well, do you have anything on the March 8th, which is what we're doing first?
oh no, I couldn't find anything on that.
Yeah, I couldn't either, and Chris had me review it beforehand too. Did you have something, Gene, on that, or?
I had, kind of, minor stuff, you know, like words that either are split or compound words, that kind of thing. I like it to be consistent. And I think that was the meeting, I mentioned to Chris, you need to change the phrase, accordingly, the meeting was adjourned at 7:52, which is actually before
So
the
it should
meeting
be
started.
57
8:57, yeah.
is a motion.
And that's,
And I didn't carry it down to the recording
yeah,
of the meeting. Was
that's
adjourned.
that's the one that's substantive that I found. The others are just tidying things up. So I'll drop by tomorrow with my copy.
Well, they are on May 17th yet?
No,
Not yet, no.
just almost. So the 8:57, so basically, do we have a motion to approve the minutes with that one change now and Gene's minor comments to be forwarded to Chris?
Yeah, also move it.
Jack moved. Second,
I'll second.
David second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, okay, we're done with that. Okay, Josh, May 17th.
You're up, yeah.
On the first page, the bottom bullet, it says, when it enters the property.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Yeah, I think I did find that one too, right here.
I didn't find anything else.
Gene, do you have
That's a
anything
good
else?
Yeah, I think I found some small, again, no factual errors, just, there's a couple of things like words that needed to be changed.
You want to go through them, or?
You know, at this point, I've forgotten which was which.
Okay. So do you want to do what we're doing here?
Yeah,
Make
could you
that
do
one
that? 'Cause
change?
I'll bring it over, it's, you
Okay.
know, I put my questions in there.
So do we have a motion to approve the May 17th minutes with Josh's correction and Gene's to be supplied? Who wants to?
I'll make the motion.
Jack moved.
I guess I can do
Second.
either minutes or dinner now.
Stephen seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. We're done with that. Now, anything else anyone needs to talk about? Chris, do you have anything else?
I know.
Yes.
Just a note, so I'm complimentary of the developers at Bradley on the 55 and older. It was interesting to see they did some final design work on the detention basin today, so if you get a chance to drive by that, you might crane your neck and see what the bottom of a well-designed detention basin and a forebay looks like. So they've done a great job in the rainy season with their anti-tracking pad and all, so I'd like to compliment them, and just I want to get that on the record. I see that they do a good job of site maintenance there for such a big site and heavy traffic on the development phase. I've been impressed.
The detention pond had water in it after that heavy
It
rain.
had water. It was holding water for a while.
Well, it didn't have an outlet.
Does it have an outlet? Is it going to have an outlet?
It never got so full we'd get
It
to
will have
it.
an outlet because it'll go over to the other pond. It'll go into, yeah, it'll have an outlet.
Okay.
But it didn't have anything because it wasn't finalized, it wasn't
But detained the water.
vegetated, so it contained the water, it did what it was supposed
It's
to.
probably pretty much.
Chocolate milk water, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you
They've
for
been
that.
very responsive to any questions or concerns that we've had,
Mhm.
so
Yeah, great.
it's a pleasure to work with them so far.
Great.
I reserve judgment.
Anything else anybody has to talk about? All right. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Who wants to do that?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Jack, all in favor? Second. David,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Looks like 7:57 or so.
Very good. Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Chair.
you.